Elizabeth Arden Cream.
This One's Wife, Pet Food and Shopkeeper. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Oh, how the supposedly mighty have fallen. Yes, this one's wife. At one point she believed that she was a colossus, striding the world, hobnobbing with the A-listers, somebody that was going to march on Washington and become the next president of the United States. An individual that was all going to thrill and entertain us with her authorial abilities. Somebody that was going to change the world, that she was going to do so by turning up and doing good, as opposed to not doing much and grifting instead. And thus, having been provided with one of the biggest platforms that anybody could wish for, courtesy of her marriage into the British royal family, she reached into her back pocket and pulled out a sachet, and in that sachet was a healthy dose of fucking it up. Yes, as a consequence of the way, as I've explained to you before, her narcissism was brilliant at propelling herself into this position, and then hopeless at keeping her there. We have seen her fall from grace. Welcomed with open arms, and then becoming a pariah as a consequence of the various explanations about her behaviour. The bullying of a young girl, making the Princess of Wales cry, allegations of bullying staff, acting like a diva in relation to the wedding, the ill-fitting clothes, the swatting away of the man's hand that helped her try to get out of the car, trying to walk in front of the Queen, the demands, the scandals, the "I can't believe I'm not being paid for this" on the walkabout in Australia, the allegations of throwing tea over somebody in Australia, on and on it went. The behaviour that was exposed in Spare by smearing other people, the nonsense that appeared in Finding Freedom. There is a litany of her behaviours that not only demonstrate her narcissism in action, which has been highlighted and brought to you by yours truly, your glorious narrator, who was the first to tell the world that she was a narcissist, but moreover, to enable you to see why she does as she does, and also to see this long line of unpleasant behaviours that have contributed to her downward spiral, that over time the A-listers turned its back upon her, that the ventures that she engaged in didn't go anywhere, the fact that there was meant to be this much heralded launch of American Riviera Orchard, yet you can't buy anything and all there is a landing page wanting to take your email address. That she wanted to be seen as a fashion icon, and instead she's regularly ridiculed for the items that she wears. That she wanted to be seen as this giver of brilliant speeches, and every time she opens her mouth, the beige word salad that comes pouring forth is ridiculed and reported on. She's appeared in South Park and Family Guy. Comedians have ridiculed her also. Wherever she turns, whatever she does, she's met with failure, with ridicule, and the more that she tries in the pursuit of the prime aims to assert control and draw fuel, to manage her facade and increase the residual benefit of money, the more the people watch, the more that people pick apart her behaviours. And where has it got her now? Peddling pet food and essentially being a shopkeeper. Yes, as Mark Duell writes in the Mail on Sunday, this one's wife targets the pet food market. Duchess of Sussex new lifestyle brand American Riviera Orchard could sell birdseed and edible pet treats. Well, isn't that an amazing achievement? This one's wife hopes to sell products from birdseed to pet treats and gardening shears to napkin rings with her new lifestyle brand American Riviera Orchard. Now, pausing there, these updates that are being provided by the various outlets of what she's going to sell is great publicity for American Riviera Orchard, but there are two problems with it. The publicity is done in a snarky, sarcastic, ridiculing fashion, demonstrating that she's basically touting everything, being some kind of Walmart. And secondly, although there's a publicity, who's actually going to be doing the buying? As explained previously, those with actual money to burn are going to be directed elsewhere, using the likes of Goop and Flamingo Estate, which is seen as even more expensive. There are plenty of lower-end providers of these materials, and therefore this one's wife would be entering a saturated market. Her ardent supporters, the Sugars and the Sussex squad, are not of the socio-economic power that this one's wife requires. Basically, they don't have a lot of money, and therefore, whilst they might purchase something from her online shop, or indeed, more about this in a moment, her physical store, they're not going to be doing so with any habitual regularity, and thus it'll founder. Accordingly, she's getting plenty of publicity, but she's really going to struggle to monetize that publicity, to translate it into dollars. Other items that she's looking to sell include ketchup, incest burners, flower pots, pet food and recipe books. It comes after Daily Mail revealed this one's wife is now eyeing Gwyneth Paltrow's beauty crown as she added cosmetics and beauty products to list of goods, character trait acquisition. The 42-year-old Duchess wants to market fragrance sachets, bath and shower gels and salts, hand soaps, body creams, bath oil, body lotions and other cosmetics. She's also hoping to sell scented oils, reed diffusers, fragrances and non-medicated pet grooming products, such as shampoo and conditioners for dogs. And the listing for pet food, edible pet treats, birdseed, is notable given that the Princess of Wales's brother James Middleton owns the upmarket dog food brand Hello Ella, reported by The Sun. Thus, is it the case that that's being done as a further character trait acquisition? And might it be argued that she's attempting to cock a snook at James Middleton and therefore indirectly at the Princess of Wales? Well, it's a possibility. There's also a suggestion that she's going to have a physical shop. Could you imagine that? Harry told to go and stand in the shop and serve people because he's got to go and earn some money to ensure that their security costs are paid. Quite hilarious. You might get a handful of Sugars beating a path to go there just so that they can take selfies amidst the pet food and the birdseed without actually purchasing anything. But the fact of this enterprise, which you still can't buy anything from, and that is regularly reported on in scornful and ridiculing terms, the longer it goes on that nobody can buy anything, and the longer it goes on that people list, because they're bound to do so, all of the things that she's purportedly going to sell, without actually being able to reference what it is she's truly selling, the more it is that people will start to lose interest in it. She's not capitalised on the launch whatsoever, once again demonstrating that that was all about upstaging the Diana Legacy Awards. Another example of the way that her narcissism focuses on the now and achieves that control, but then creates a further problem along the line. This one's wife will never look in the mirror and suddenly realise, I sell pet food and I'm just a shopkeeper. She will, of course, believe that she's a lifestyle brand guru, but as always, the evidence contradicts her. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.